With grandkids going to school in South Australia and Queensland, we were fortunate that 1 week of their mid-year holidays in 2016 corresponded. So on Monday, July 4th, we went to Brisbane to pick up the South Australian contingent from the airport. Jason, Kai and Grace were already at the airport when we got there, since their Virgin flight from Adelaide landed pretty much on time, and an accident on the highway north of Brisbane held us up for almost an hour. Tanya, Michael, Noah and Imogen were already in Brisbane for their biannual dental checkup, so we all went into the city to meet them there. Everybody in the airport group was hungry, so Noah and Imogen took us into the valley and showed us where to have lunch. After finishing with the dentist, we rearranged the luggage and prepared for the trip to Dreamworld. We arrived at the Coomera Motor Inn at about 4 o'clock and got settled into our rooms. The kids had fun getting to know one another in the lawn area at the back of the motel. Surfers Paradise is about 30 minutes drive away from the motel, so we decided to spend the evening there. The beach is well lit and is quite impressive with the high buildings in the background. While the kids dug holes in the beach, Jason and Tanya went away and found some food for an evening meal, and we sat at a table on the foreshore and ate a seafood meal. By the time we arrived back at the motel, it was time for the kids to prepare for bed. Even though they all had had a big day, it was not easy to get them into bed. Tuesday morning, everybody was up to have breakfast and prepare for the 10 a.m. entry to Dreamworld, the main gate for which was only a 10-minute walk from the motel. Sadly, it was raining, but that didn't completely ruin the day. We were all up bright and early on Wednesday morning, had breakfast and prepared for the long trip back to Gayndah. On the way, we called into Gympie to pick up the caravan to take it with us to Gayndah. Tanya was happy to show the visitors the sights and sounds of Gayndah on Thursday, including a visit to the Gayndah Lookout. The lookout provides a good view of the citrus orchards nestled along the banks of the Burnett River. The Big Orange was also on the list, as was a special treat for morning tea at the local bakery. Grace and Imogen managed to get into their Nashville gear and look like twins. Noah fitted the little action camera to his helmet and went for a ride on his bike. That was the camera coming off his helmet, not Noah falling off the bike. Imogen attached the camera to her handlebars and went for a ride. On Friday we packed up everything again and set off for the beach. Moore Park Beach, that is, just north of Bundaberg. The caravan park is situated right on the beach. Jason, Kai and Grace stayed in one of the units available at the park, while Noah, Imogen, Lorraine and Jeff stayed in the caravan. By the time everything was set up, it was getting late afternoon, so Lorraine and Jason went shopping for supplies. Even though it was a rather cool winter's day, the kids wanted to go to the beach and play. I took them down, and despite discouragement from me, it wasn't long before they were in the water, gradually getting themselves totally wet. That's the Pacific Ocean out there, folks. What a calm day. Saturday was the day set aside for visiting the Bundaberg Glaciers. First it was my sister Glenda and her husband Graham. Then it was back to Moore Park for a barbecue lunch with Lorraine's mother, her sister Diane and her husband Russell. Then it was down to Burnett Heads to see my brother Trevor and his wife Laurel. Their son Mark and his son Luca were also there. It was quite a surprise for everyone that Trevor had his helicopter out of the shed and offered to take the kids for a ride. Nobody refused the invitation, so Jason, Kai and Grace went on the first ride and I went with Noah and Imogen on the second ride. We went north along the coast to Moore Park, saw a caravan from the air and on the way back landed on the beach. It was quite an exciting day. Sunday morning it was back to Gympie. We arrived home a little after lunch and Grace and Kai had the opportunity to try out the action camera attached to the scooters on our bumpy veranda. Monday morning was a 6 a.m. start because we had to be down at Tincombe Bay for the 8 a.m. feeding of the dolphins.
And they see their blowhole here when they breathe. If they get too much sand, they can get a lung disease like we do. So this is Misty.
On m'a perdu.
Showing it off. It's pretty cool. Ready? Underwater. Don't let it go. Underwater. Fish. No, that's it rolls off your hand, doesn't it? If you're holding it like this,
So you just fit squirt and he's full.
get all that.
Okay, Kai, hold that so I can get Grace's.
Can I get you guys to move over?
Good girl. Thank you so much. Just over this way slightly, guys. Thank you.
It's like,
How was that?
straight off me. It's very weird.
Fish in the bucket.
Thank you so much. So this is Misty, the alpha male.
After feeding the dolphins, we had breakfast at the restaurant there and then came home. We spent much of Monday afternoon playing in the backyard. Grace worked the camera while Kai and I played tether tennis. And Kai did the same while Grace and I had a go. Kai did a great job flying a quadcopter for the first time. Then we put the camera on the quadcopter and he worked the camera while I worked the controls. Not a very high resolution camera, but it gave us a look at our house like we've never seen it before. We had to make our way to Brisbane Airport on Tuesday morning for an early afternoon flight back to Adelaide. We really enjoyed having them all up here and look forward to their next visit.